So the nice people from KiiBoom sent me this. I am pretty excited for this. This is the KiiBoom Phantom 81, and from photos, this board looks stunning, and I think you'll agree. But before we get into that, let's see what we get inside the box. On the inside, you get the board itself and some typical keyboard items. You get this cable, switch puller, keycap puller, and extra switches. These are their crystal switches. We'll talk more about that later, but right now let's get into the main piece. So this is the KiiBoom's Phantom 81, a 75% crystal gasket board that looks stunning. The aesthetic of the board is just on point. The brass and transparent combo are just beautiful. The board comes with a knob for your volume and it can be paired via Bluetooth or 2.4. Looking at it, the board is constructed by a two-piece milled solid acrylic. You can see the brass plate and the silicone gasket sandwiched in there. At the back, you have this beautiful brass weight with their logo engraved, and since it is wireless, you have a receiver that snaps to the back with magnets. I love it when manufacturer does these things. I'm still gonna lose it, but at least they thought of it. And I gotta say it to you guys, I cannot stop staring at the board. It is mesmerizing. The transparent board is really a looker, and even the keycaps are transparent too. I always wanted to try the clear keycaps and they feel good. It has the feeling of like touching the glass on your phone, like almost similar. Gotta hand it to them, the aesthetic of the board is a winner. Everything feels well thought of, from the clear keycaps, clear body, and also the brass accents. The plate, the knob, and even the PCB matches. Even the switches itself is clear. These are their own crystal switches made from polycarbonate for the housing and nylon for the stem. It has lube pre-applied to them but only on the railing, so a quick re-lube wouldn't hurt. And this is what they sound like. Not bad. The stabilizers could do some tuning, but it sounds good. I think I want to change some things. First, we have to dissect the board. The board has all these screws at the back, and even the screws are brass in colors. Nice touch. You have to unscrew 8 of them, but the top part is hard to get to. I put the screw in my screwdriver to reach it. A bit sketchy, but it works. And to be honest with you, you don't have to go through all this. The board sounds great as it is, especially if you re-lube the switches, but I am just really curious to find out how the board sounds like without the PCB silicone. Once you get inside, you can remove the plate. The plate has flex cuts on them. It's not super stiff, so I'm not sure if the accents are solid brass. I think it's just anodized alloy, but still beautiful nonetheless. And the silicone is one piece. Well, this makes it more difficult. I could cut it to remove only on the switch parts, but I think it'll be better if I just don't use it at all. So for the gaskets, I have some Poron gaskets that I just cut to size and use them. I also took the middle standoffs out to add more flex to the plate. I just screwed it all back together, and now for the switches. KiiBoom also sent their Taro cream milk switches. These tactile switches has housings made from nylon and PC with palm stem. The tactile bump is rounded like what you find in panners, but they feel a bit more heavier. I like the colors of the switches, they're like really cute. The clear keycaps are really nice. I'm not sure what they're made out of, but I think it's made from polycarbonate. It does fit the aesthetic really well, but since I changed the switches, I think it's best to change the keycaps. I'm taking these fishing keycaps out of this earlier build. Subscribe to see the build in a later video. But at first, I wasn't too sure that the keycaps are gonna match, but I think it does. It looks really dreamy. I added more loop in the stabilizers, and this is what the board sounds like. Okay, you don't have to do any of the mods, except for the saps and maybe re-looping the switches. The switch part of the silicone is thin enough to not fully affect the feel as much, and the sound is just a bit dampened with it. You don't have to go through all of this and end up risking scratching the board. Overall, very pretty board. I like it. The RGB is nice, it has underglow, perky, and did I tell you guys that it's south facing? Like, I'm so used to north facing, I didn't even realize it's south facing, which is really surprising. If you want a board with this aesthetic, it starts from $160. Go check KiiBoom out with the link in the description below. They have IMs and keycaps too. Go check them out. Stay safe and see ya.